Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to talk about how the tariffs are going to affect supercars.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and we are at my dealership, NG Supercars. Okay, I know. We don't talk about politics, so here's the rules. This is not going to be about politics. This is going to be about the facts of tariffs and how they're affecting supercars. So we're not going to talk about whatever else. Okay, I don't care about your political beliefs, and I'm not going to dispense my political beliefs. Okay, got it? Everyone cool? Cool, let's be adults. I know that's a huge ask for the internet, but try, please. This channel is about cars. We're talking about cars. There's stuff that's going on that's going to affect the price of cars, so let's talk about it. Oh, but real quick, if you want to support us, like, share, and subscribe, hit the notification bell. That actually literally does help us out. Share this video, and of course, go visit normalguysupercar.com. There you can buy parts and services, and NG Supercars, our dealership website. We do appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. I know, this is going to be a tough one. Okay. All right, YouTube. I don't want to have to talk about this, but I feel like we have to talk about this. We're going to go into what's going on with how the tariffs are going to affect supercars. Now, I am not an economist, and I am just a dude who has a YouTube channel and a dealership and stuff. So I'm going to give you my lived experience. This is not financial advice. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm an idiot.
You idiots!
First of all, today is Wednesday, April 2nd. So later on today, supposedly there's going to be a bunch of tariffs that kick in on cars that are imported to the US. We will see. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Probably it is. It sounds like it is. Okay, but we do know that there's already tariffs in place on parts that are imported to the US. So let's talk about that first, since we know that that's happening and it's already in place. That is already affecting us and our business and our customers. Real quick, taking a step back.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, please.
If you don't know how tariffs work, this is how they work. They are import tariffs. That means that when something is manufactured or made outside of the United States, and to be fair, we're just talking about the US tariffs stuff. When something's made outside of the United States and brought into the United States, the company that brings it in is going to assess the fee based on the government and pass that fee on to whoever is importing that thing. What does that mean? So, for us, I'm just going to talk about us as an example. When we buy parts for Ferraris or Supercars or whatever, so let's just use an example. Let's say we buy an exhaust. Now, it depends where the exhaust comes from. If it comes from certain countries, it will get assessed a tariff. If it comes from other countries, it may not. That makes things a little bit complicated, and when we get phone calls from customers saying, hey, am I going to get a tariff on this part? We a lot of times say we don't know, because we don't know. If we import it and it comes to us, like it's shipped to our dealership and to our business, we pay the tariff. Not the company that manufactured it, not the shipping company. We pay it. The tariff gets paid to the shipping company. The shipping company pays the government. So we actually get a bill from like UPS or FedEx or DHL. If you are the final address, in other words, if you buy something from us, you buy an exhaust, and it gets imported and it's being shipped to your house, you will get the bill. It will come to you, it will be by FedEx, UPS, etc., and you have to pay it. That's just how it works. We can't pay those fees because we don't know what those fees are going to be, so we don't include those fees when we sell the price of things. People ask us, can you change the price so it's a lower fee, like, you know, instead of being a $5,000 thing, you mark it down to $2,000. No, we cannot, because we're not going to commit fraud for you to save a little bit of money. Sorry. Also, you would be asking us to ask our supplier to change the price of the thing, and so definitely not. So as of this point, we've already gotten emails from some of our suppliers saying that, hey, prices are going up on things. It depends on what things those are and where they're made and what parts they're using to make those things. It's inconsistent, but definitely prices are going up almost universally across almost all the parts. As of right now, today, things are costing more, period. Why? Because, well, so even the stuff that's made in the US, for example, S-Line Sound, they make their parts here in the US, but they still are probably getting some of their materials from stuff that gets imported. They're actually one of the only ones that so far has not told us that their prices are going up, but I think it's only a matter of time. A lot of the other companies are going up, but not universally. Again, because they don't necessarily have to increase their prices, because you're paying the tariff, they're not paying the tariff. For example, Klein exhausts are made in Romania. They may get hit by a tariff that's imposed on any country that's in the EU, but they're still sourcing their parts from stuff that's within the EU. So their cost to make the parts and things and whatever still cost the same, but you will pay more once it gets the import tariff assessed as it's brought into the United States. Make sense? I know it's difficult, and so unfortunately that means from our business we've already taken a little bit of a hit. We've had some customers call us and say, hey, I want to buy this thing, is it going to get hit by a tariff? And we say probably, and they say, ooh, I don't know if I want to buy it now. What I'm going to tell you is I think whatever prices are going up, they're probably going to stay up. It so far doesn't look like anyone's ever going to lower prices ever again. There's really no reason to, because even if the tariffs go away, the prices are already increased where they have. Why would they decrease the prices? They're just going to hurt their own profit margins. So corporations are greedy. That's just how it works. It's human nature. Capitalism, hooray! Yeah! That being said, again, this is not political. This is just factually, that's what's going on right now today. Parts are going up in cost, whether you're paying a tariff for it or whether the company has increased the price because their cost went up. That cost is being pushed onto you. So you today are paying more for parts. All right, now let's shift over to cars. So cars are a bit more interesting and complex for us in particular because we don't sell new cars. Zero new cars, period. We are not a new car dealership. We aren't licensed to sell new cars. We can only sell used cars. We're going to go under the assumption that the tariffs are going to actually kick in today, and I think it's 10% or something like that on any car that's brought in, or maybe it was, I don't even know. That's the problem. Things change so rapidly, I don't know. Which actually is a point of contention and actually brings up some complexity to the situation, which is because of the uncertainty, it's reducing consumer confidence. And when consumer confidence gets reduced, people don't buy stuff. Like if you're worried, if you're financially concerned about your own financial health, you're probably not going to go out and say, I'm going to go splurge and buy a 6-figure car tomorrow. Okay, that's reasonable. Now, here's where it also gets a little bit wonky is we're selling ultra high-end luxury goods. Customer base ability for them to purchase these things is a little bit out of the normal supply and demand curve. Not entirely, but generally speaking, something like a 10% increase in these things won't break their bank. If you can afford a $150,000 to $250,000 totally optional item in your life, you could probably still afford it if it goes up $10,000 to $20,000. Probably. Not always, probably. But does that mean you might think twice about it or something like that? Maybe, yeah. That being said, this is my opinion of what I think is going to happen is I do believe you will see used supercar prices increase a bit. Now, obviously, the new supercar prices are going to increase. In fact, Ferrari already said they're going to increase the prices of their cars, which means you're like really going to have substantial increases on the prices of those cars. Crap. That's going to suck. Well, when it comes to used cars, we already are kind of seeing very low supply and excess demand for a lot of these cars that are in the, I'm going to say, $100,000 to $250,000, maybe even $300,000 range, because that's kind of where we focus our efforts. We don't like buying the ultra expensive stuff, and we don't like buying the ultra cheap stuff. In the $100,000 to $300,000 range, there's already not a lot of supply, and a lot of people are trying to buy things. The pressure is already there to increase prices. If the overall used car market kind of lifts, I think it will also lift up the supercar market a little bit. Now, what that means is maybe that makes a lot of these people who are on the fence about selling the car say, you know what, maybe I'll sell my car. Now, obviously, it would be a wash if you're going to sell the car and it's worth more now, but you're going to go buy another car and it also costs more now. So, you know, you didn't really do any better. The supercar market is so model specific that you might be able to play a game here where certain models are going to go up and certain models aren't going to go up as much. Honestly, I don't really know what's going to happen, but it's going to be worse either way for us. And here's why. Let's say prices go up. We're going to pay more because we have to pay interest on these cars in order to buy them and sell them. So it's going to cost us more if the prices of these cars go up. So we're not a big enough dealership where we have this huge pile of cars that have been waiting for this moment for the prices to go up. There are definitely some dealerships out there that bought way too high during COVID and still have those cars and still have them listed at crazy high prices. If they're smart, they're just going to leave them at the prices they're at, and the market will kind of catch up to where they're at, and maybe finally those cars will sell. I could see where some of these money laundering, big dealerships that have a huge excess of supply, they might start selling more cars just because they have a bunch of cars. Now, if they're greedy and they increase the price of those cars that they already have, well, they'll probably just continue to sit on their lots, and I don't think they care. But for us, we're small. We only have a few cars in inventory, so we don't have this big supply of cars. So we still have to go buy cars. In fact, I'm trying to buy cars today all the time. And that means if my cost to buy the cars goes up, well, it doesn't help me. Because yes, I'll be able to sell them for more, but I have to pay more to get them. In the meantime, I'm paying more in interest. So it's really not helpful. That's all assuming everything goes up. If the price increase breaks the consumer and it finally exceeds the point at which people say, you know what, I'm not going to buy that, then obviously we're going to see prices come down, inventory is going to go up, so now you'll have supply exceeding demand, and then the prices will go down, and then who knows? That's possible, right? Like, we don't know. I would say that's more of like the catastrophic scenario of like if we get into a severe recession or anything like that, then maybe that will start to happen, but we don't know. So that's the problem. None of us can predict the future. I wish I could. Try and be an adult in the conversation. If you're commenting below, maybe avoid the political background of it and just talk about the facts. What do you think is going to happen? Are the tariffs going to increase the prices of supercars? Are we seeing a new bottom? Is everything just going to suddenly be up and that's where it's going to stay and it's going to be the new base price for everything? If you already own a supercar and you're looking to exit the supercar market, that could be a great opportunity. Then again, if you're looking to just upgrade from one supercar to another, it's probably not going to help you. In fact, it may hurt because if you're like us and you have interest on the vehicle, well, you're probably going to pay more in interest overall. Same car cost $100,000, now it costs $110,000 to buy it. Well, it just means you're paying more in interest. That's kind of where we're at. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll find out later today. We'll find out over the next few months. I don't know. Are we anticipating a slowdown? Maybe, but not entirely. Like I said, consumers who buy these things, it doesn't affect them as much. Now, if I was in the used car business selling cars that were like daily drivers and stuff, I would be very, very concerned. I think those dealerships are going to have a hard time. And everyone keeps saying, oh, the dealerships are just going to mark everything up and fleece everyone and blah, blah, blah. They're paying more, right? So that's the problem. I'm going to see what happens today at the auction. If a bunch of cars are exceeding their averages, currently, let's say a regular old, I don't know, SUV, something, whatever, generic car is at this price today, and all of a sudden everyone's bidding it up above that price during the auction today, that's going to make me nervous. So we'll know in a couple hours. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, again, remain adults. Try and be kind to each other and not make this political. Just stick to the facts. Here's where we're at. If you want to support us, you can buy stuff at slightly higher prices generally at normalguysupercar.com. You can use the code NGS10. It takes off 10%. So there you go. It helps you kind of eliminate some of the taxes. And of course, you could go to NG Supercars and buy some supercars from us. But that's it for this video. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting us. We do appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next video. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. You're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.